morning. This is WGTV today. It is a Tuesday. It's the 13th of November.
Right.
I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning.
Thank you for being with us. Well, on this Tuesday morning, yesterday was the official observation, the day we observed Veterans Day.
That's right.
Of course, I hope you attended the parade this past Saturday, downtown Goldsboro. Big event.
We always want to support our veterans.
Yes, indeed we do. Well, coming up on today's program, we have a full day for you. Here it is, right here. Yeah, what do we have there, Kim?
Let's see. Today we have...
Yes, the 13th.
Kim Dirksen is coming back.
Oh, good.
He is talking about the channel that the public schools have and what the changes that they'll be having coming up soon. We also have City Clerk Melissa Corser, who will be here, and she's telling you about the job of a city clerk, what all that entails and what all her responsibilities are.
Yeah.
And then we went out to the Secret Garden.
Oh, boy.
The Secret Garden Winery. We got our own tour, didn't we, Wayne?
We certainly did that, but we can't tell you where it is. It's
a secret.
It's a secret.
You'll see for yourself. It is such a well-hidden little secret here in our community, but now we want to make you aware of where it is and what all they offer, because they have some fantastic things for our community.
You know, I really had a good time out there. That is a great place to go and visit. Linda Hall is wonderful.
And I was shocked by the people from all the different countries that have actually gone and visited and had a tour.
I know. She has a list right there in her lobby room.
Yes,
of,
they'll see.
From where people have visited, not only North Carolina, but all over the country.
Oh, there was a long list from Germany and all over. People have come and toured the Secret Garden Winery and tasted, participated in a wine tasting.
Several European countries, several Asian countries people have visited. It's just, it's wonderful. I just really had a good time out there. I can't wait to
You'll
go back.
learn all about it. Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up a little later on this morning. Hey, the Farm City Week banquet is coming up on the 19th. That will be coming up soon. Talking with Kevin Johnson, in fact, over the weekend and last week. The Farm City Week, celebrating the important partnership between the farming community and urban community here in the Goldsboro, Wayne County area. It's a big event. It's a major event here in Wayne County, and it's coming up on the 19th.
Well, Wayne, we also have something to tell you about. It's called Campfire in the Woods. That is Saturday, November the 17th from 5 to 6 p.m. at Cliffs of the Noose. It says, spend a relaxing evening around a campfire while listening to tales about local wildlife. How neat is that?
I love it.
They'll also have available some traditional fireside snacks, some marshmallows, and all the fun things that you would expect to be around a campfire. And if you have questions, you can call 778-6234. And that is at the Cliffs of the Noose on Saturday, November the 17th.
Yeah, all of a sudden I have an urge to get my harmonica and start playing harmonica here by the old campfire.
The Cliffs of the Noose offer so many unique and wonderful things going on in our community. We want to continue to share what's happening out there at that state park.
And I was really surprised at how nice that new welcome center is.
Oh, the facility is wonderful.
Beautiful.
Wayne and I visited out there recently, and you'll hear about that coming up soon. They have a children's interactive learning environment. And Wayne and I enjoyed that little facility, and we acted like children and had a great time. But you just stay tuned. That's not today's show, but you'll hear about that coming up soon.
That's right. That's going to be coming up soon. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, I want to mention again all the Christmas parades coming up soon. November 17th, Seven Springs.
That's right.
Gets underway
3 o'clock p.m.
At 3 o'clock. And then on Saturday, December 1st, there's 3 Christmas parades. The first in Mount Olive, that's at 10 o'clock in the morning. Fremont at 1 p.m. Goldsboro 4 p.m. Line up for those respective parades, respectively, 1 hour before each begins. Mount Olive 10 o'clock, Fremont 1 o'clock, Goldsboro 4 p.m. And then Pikeville, the very next day, December the 2nd, Pikeville will begin their Christmas parade at 3 p.m. And then Eureka also at 3 p.m. a week later on December 9th.
That's
All
right.
right.
That's right.
All right.
And mark your calendars. Jingle in the Park is taking place. It'll be Friday, December the 7th and Saturday, December the 8th at Herman Park. Come out from 4 to 8 p.m. Bring your family out to the park and enjoy lights and activities and ride on the miniature Kiwanis train and visit with Santa. It's a fun evening with hot chocolate and all kinds of goodies out there.
Oh, yeah, lots of fun.
They light up all the trees in Herman Park. It's beautiful.
They do.
Would you like to do that together, Wayne? Ta-da!
All Okay. That was pretty
We're
good.
having fun this morning.
We are having fun this morning, but we need to hear from Ken Dirksen. You know, he's been with us a couple of times before. This coming up, the third discussion we had with Ken, we're going to be talking about Wayne County Public Schools Channel 18.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Ken Dirksen on WGTV Today. Our guest today again is Ken Dirksen with the Wayne County Public Schools Communications Director. Ken, it's always a pleasure to see you.
We appreciate you having me this morning.
You guys are underway. The Wayne County Public Schools is always doing something to improve opportunity for students to either learn or find out or discover or whatever. And you have a plan underway, and you're working on it right now to have a broadcast studio, a channel actually on cable, much as is this channel on cable. But this will be for the students. Where are you in that regard?
Well, we've actually had the channel in place since 2008.
Right.
And due to budget cuts, and we had a small little budget from the state of North Carolina that has to be strictly used for the channel. What we've been doing is we've been pretty much setting this money aside to be used for a television studio that can be used by students in the school district and used to create student-produced programming. And as part of that, we're going to be using, the location of the studio will be at Goldsboro High and Wayne School of Engineering, and both of these schools are getting digital media programs.
Great.
And the School of Engineering's digital media program actually came out of the STEM grant that the district recently received, a $1.6 million STEM grant, and a very small amount of that money is going to be used to purchase cameras and some technology and equipment that the students can use for a digital media program. That's under the North Carolina public schools curriculum for digital media, and these students will have an opportunity to do everything from learning how to design websites, how to do professional photographs, all the way up to doing the actual video use, which will be used with the studio.
Wow.
And of course what we'll do is we're going to have some internship opportunities for students from all of the high schools. This upcoming semester will strictly be Wayne School of Engineering and possibly Goldsboro High School, but as we get into the next year, that's when we're really going to open up for the other schools to participate and have interns where they can help take part in creating actually professional looking student newscasts.
Wow, you know, that's really exciting.
So, and we've actually had a cable channel in place again since 2008, Channel 18 on Time Warner Cable. At this point, we've pretty much run a lot of slides, a lot of pre-produced programming. We run a lot of Wayne Community College lectures, which we're very thankful that we can share those with the community. Right. And of course, we do run some school district programming from the county-wide events, from parent seminars to our student counselor awards to our volunteer of the year and teacher of the year events. So we do run a lot of school district programming already, but I think what's missing on our channel is students, and that's something that we want to change. And we're looking forward to be able to use this channel to really showcase our students and what they're doing, and allow them opportunities to be exposed to digital media, be exposed to video programming. So if these students so choose, they could actually go into that as a career path and already have a background, having, you know, went through digital media program, went through these two courses, exposed to camera operations, exposed to these various facets of a television studio and how to put on a program.
Wow.
And then if they go on to college, they've already got maybe a year or two under their belt, along with whatever they gain in college when they start applying for jobs actually out in the workforce in this area.
That's fantastic.
So,
and I know that if there's any youngsters or students out there that have heard about this, there's probably a line already forming to become a part of this. This is great. What's your timeline on that? Well,
our hope is to have everything in place by November so we can actually work the bugs out ourselves for the students to actually get involved in second semester. And then our hope is maybe sometime in January, early February, that we can actually start doing some student productions. Now we're actually, here in the next few weeks, we'll start running some lunch menus that are recorded by students, and you know, using some of our green screen technology, we'll go out to the schools and videotape a few things ourselves, and we'll start getting those type of regular programming. But when we actually start utilizing the studio to its fullest will be early next semester.
And that is really exciting, and I know the students are ready for this, and I know the schools are as well. And this will be at the School of Engineering.
That's correct.
Wow. And where is that?
It's located. The Wayne School of Engineering is located on the Goldsboro High School campus.
Goldsboro High School.
And this is actually located. The studio we're using is actually located on an annex building off the side of the campus of Goldsboro High and Wayne School of Engineering.
Right.
And it's an old wood shop
Oh,
that we've
okay.
looked at
Sure.
converting. So
And I've seen the big School of Engineering sign on the outside
Yeah.
of the building there at Goldsboro High School.
But it's going to be a neat opportunity for students of both of those schools, and utilizing the technology and equipment that's placed for the studio. And of course, what we'll do is we'll videotape in the afternoons a couple days a week, and then that's when we invite the students from the other schools to come out and participate in this opportunity.
Well, I love that. That is really exciting, and I know you guys are excited about it too.
Yes,
Look
we are,
forward
and I
to
think
it.
it'll be a great opportunity for the students, and again,
Yeah.
exposing them to a potential career field and a career track that they can get hands-on training. So, and exposing them to, now we're not going to have necessarily the most professional technology. I mean, you know, we have a very limited budget, but if you expose the student how to use a video camera, even if it's not a $30,000 or $50,000 camera like you might if you were working in a professional news studio, but if you got a camera and you're exposing them to it, they're already learning the fundamentals. And the same way with lighting and with the different facets of technology and production and direction. We're not going to be a Fox News or an ESPN, but if you give the kids the basics and you give them that exposure, they're already a step ahead when they're getting into college and going through these courses. Or
Exactly.
if they even just get their foot in the door in a TV studio while they're going to college,
Yeah.
they've already had the fundamentals learned, and that's the key to be successful in any career path.
That is exciting. You were so right about that. Is the key.
So.
And that is exciting. And our guest today has been Ken Dirksen, and we've been talking about the Channel 18 and how it's expanding and growing, and a great opportunity for students for the Wayne County Public School systems.
Oh.
Communications Director Ken Dirksen, thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. We're back on WGTV today. Kim, coming up, got a note here from Sarah Merritt. Everybody loves Charlie Brown and peanuts. Okay, well, coming up on the 17th, which is this Saturday,
That's right.
if you're looking for something fun to get your kids involved with, help them to get into the Thanksgiving spirit, well, look no further. The Arts Council of Wayne County has a big event coming up this Saturday from 10 a.m. until noon at the Arts Council on North John Street. It is a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving party.
I think that is going to be so much fun.
I know. It starts at 10 o'clock at the Arts Council on North John Street. Now, you're going to enjoy making a beautiful Thanksgiving hanging decoration and a festive turkey. All right, and then afterwards, everybody feasts on buttered toast and jelly beans and pretzels, and oh boy, just like Charlie Brown does. And of course,
Then they're going to watch the movie.
and then they watch the movie, the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's coming up this Saturday at the Arts Council at the corner of John and Walnut.
Do you need to register for that? Does it say?
It says the cost per child is $10, and that includes something. And if you want more information, or if you want to go ahead and register,
It
I can't-
includes
it ran
all
off
the
the page.
supplies.
Supplies,
All the
there-
supplies to make the
supplies.
crafts, and of course all the little goodies that the snacks you'll be munching on.
supplies. And for information or to go ahead and register, you can call 736-3300. 736-3300. Space is limited.
That's right. So call now.
Call now, 736, or at least when they open, 736-3300.
And don't forget, tomorrow is the Red and Ready tour with the American Red Cross from
Yeah.
12 to 1.
Yeah, that's very informative.
It is. It's a tour of the American Red Cross and how the American Red Cross helps our community as well as other communities.
Yeah.
And they would like for you to register if possible. That's at 735-7201. But if not, you can just show up. But it starts promptly at 12 because it's just an hour-long tour.
That's right. It is an hour-long tour, and you'll want to visit.
That's tomorrow.
You learn so much from that. Yeah, that's tomorrow. And right now, our Red Cross is very involved with the work in the Northeast,
Yes.
and they are so important when it comes to tragedies that happen in other parts of the country. Our organization here in Goldsboro and Wayne County is one of the first called to help people in other parts of the world, or in other parts of the country at least.
And I was talking with Chuck recently, and he said when there is a large disaster like that, what happens is the blood drives have a tendency to slack off. And we're not, our thoughts aren't on blood drives. And he said, Kim, we still need blood, and we need a lot of blood. So please, he asked us to help inform the community to do your part and go out and give blood. That's something we can do right here locally. Even though, you know, we send people to help with the disasters, we can ask you, if you can, to go on their website, AmericanRedCross.org, and you can find out where the blood drives are. And Wayne and I try to keep you informed on that as well, where they are here in our community.
That's right. Also, you can go on to redcross.org and make a donation to help those folks.
That's exactly right.
Red
There's
Cross.org.
a big promotion for that right now. And I think a lot of money is being raised, and they're going to need all that we can get.
They do need all we can help them, all the help we can give them. They are going to need that.
That's right.
All right. One of the growing problems in our health situation across the country, one of the growing problems is diabetes. More and more people seem to be being diagnosed with diabetes, and you can learn all you need to know about it and then some at a big diabetes awareness health fair that's coming up Tuesday of next week at the Wayne Memorial Hospital.
Do you know if it's going to be in the dining room?
It will be. I'm not sure
where
it will be, but I believe it's in the dining room. You can call and find out at 731-6299. They're asking that you register. You don't have to register, but they'd like to know you were coming. 731-6299. There'll be experts there to answer your questions. There'll be all kinds of great information about the latest supplies and treatments for people who are living with diabetes. And of course, as you know, there's two main types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is the more serious of the two. That's not to discount at all type 2 diabetes. It's very serious. It should be treated. So get information at the Diabetes Awareness Health Fair that's coming up at the Wayne Memorial Hospital a week from today, beginning at 4 p.m., 731-6299.
And don't forget, at the Paramount Theater this weekend is the stage-struck production of Ebb Scrooge, a Southern Fried Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. That's the children from Stage-Struck Theater. They will be putting on productions Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Go get your tickets now if you haven't already. You can purchase them at stagestruck.org, or you can also go to the Paramount Theater's box office. But that is going to be a great show. It's all youth in our community. That is all children through 3rd grade up through 12th grade here locally in our community. So support our youth and that is the arts areas that they are promoting here locally.
That's exactly
Ebb Scrooge,
right.
A Southern Fried Carol.
Ebb Scrooge, I love that. I love that. Well, Kim.
Yes.
What does a city clerk do?
A city clerk has a long list of things she does, but the main thing that she does, and this was something that I learned from Melissa, she's the historian. She's the keeper of the history of the decisions that are made through the city councils through all the years. That she'll give you details on how they keep the records, where they keep the records, why they keep the records, and you just stay tuned. Melissa will inform us. She's been with the city for over 7 years, so let's hear what she's got to say about the job of a city clerk. Hi, joining me today is City Clerk for the City of Goldsboro, Melissa Corser. How are you, Melissa?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
I am. We are ready to hear what is the job of a city clerk. I know it's a big one. Tell us what you do and what does the overall responsibilities include?
Okay, well, my primary responsibility is to attend the city council meetings and take the minutes of those meetings. I kind of serve as the historian for the City of Goldsboro, as I like to say. I also am responsible for advertising all of those meetings, and I also serve as administrative support for the mayor and city council, city manager, and assistant city manager.
You keep everybody straight?
I try.
That's a big job, Melissa. That's a big job. So you were telling us that you have to take the minutes.
Yes.
Now, with these minutes of all these different city council meetings that go on, twice a month,
right,
every single month, what do you do with these minutes, and how long do we have to keep those? Are there rules about that?
There is. We have to keep the minutes forever. We have minutes dating back to when it was first incorporated in the early 1800s.
So where do you keep these minutes, or what do you do with them? What's the purpose in keeping them that long?
We have to keep them in a permanent record book, which and we keep them down in our vault or in our fireproof safe, and it's to ensure that if anyone has a question about when a certain ordinance was passed or when a zoning was changed, we can go back and we can look at the minutes and find out when all of that occurred.
Oh my goodness. Now what format do you keep them in?
I keep them in paper, and I also send them to archives where they keep a copy on file in case something ever did happen.
So the state keeps a copy as well?
Absolutely.
So the job of a city clerk, is that a job that every city, every municipality has?
Yes. Someone has to serve in the role as city clerk. It could be your city manager sometimes, but someone has to keep those minutes and records that are required to be kept permanent. They have to keep those and make sure that they are where they need to be,
right,
so that public can review them.
Okay. Well, now, because there are so many, do you all meet on a regular basis? Do you have a set organization where you all can collaborate and work together?
We do. We have a North Carolina Association of Municipal Clerks, and we also have an International Institute of Municipal Clerks. And we have an annual conference every year that we go to and network, because laws are constantly changing, and our retention schedules change every 5 or 6 years. So it's good for us to kind of network and keep updated on law changes and so forth. So
right. Well, how can you all support one another?
we have a listserv that, in addition to, you can call up any clerk and ask her a question, and normally she's more than welcome to help out on any occasion, but that listserv allows us to go out there and throw questions out about how they may handle a certain situation, and we can get kind of direction in what way we need to go.
That's awesome. You have a team across the state.
Absolutely.
Oh, you can't beat that.
No.
Well, tell me, you're also in charge of boards and commissions here with the City of Goldsboro.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we have several boards and commissions, and we encourage citizen participation. We feel it's vital to the performance of our city government, and citizens are just kind of asked to serve on, or they can volunteer to serve on various boards and commissions to be a part of our government and help in the decision making.
Right, of course. That's what city government's all about.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me, do we have any that are open presently?
We do. We have vacancies on the Community Affairs Commission, the Appearance Commission, the Historic District Commission, Advisory Commission on Community Development, and Travel and Tourism.
So quite a few, 5 or 6.
We do.
That we have openings. Now, if someone in the community decided they wanted to, first of all, find out when these meetings are held, how long the meetings typically last, how often they meet, some of those details, who would they go about asking, or where would they find this information?
Well, they can always come up to City Hall, or they can go on our website, and there's a tab on our left-hand side that says Boards and Commissions Resume, and also on that, when they click on that, it goes to a page that lists all of our boards and commissions and when they meet, and duties and so forth like that.
Okay, so on the website, which is goldsboronc.gov,
yes,
over on the left, click on Boards and Commissions, Resume, fill that out, and they can either bring it in person or they can submit it by email.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, if they don't have access to internet, they can actually come up to City Hall and get a copy of this
Absolutely.
application? Wonderful. Well, Melissa, it sounds like you have a big job, but you have a big support system
Yes, I do.
across the state to work with, where you can help one another out for all these different situations that may arise within city government. But it sounds like that you've got it under control. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm married and I have 3 wonderful kids, and I am from Johnston County, but just
We're glad to have you in Wayne.
well, thank you, just a little bit over the Johnston County line. I'm from Princeton, and I do have a certification for clerk certification, which is for the North Carolina certification and the IIMC certification.
So you live in Princeton, but you work right here in Wayne County,
I
for the
do.
City of Goldsboro. How long have you been with us?
7 years.
Wow, you've been here a while.
I have.
You've got a good handle on what it takes to help run the City of Goldsboro and the office staff up there. Well, thank you so much for giving us an overview of what City Clerk does, who all has City Clerks, and the responsibilities that you have on a daily basis.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. I hope you've learned more about what's happening in your local city government and also here in the City of Goldsboro. Until next time, I'm Kim Best, your host, and we'll talk with you soon.
Back on WGTV today. Thank you for being with us on this Tuesday, the 13th. How quickly we forget. Anyway, it's the 13th. I didn't bring my calendar with me.
Today's the 13th. It is, isn't it?
It is. It's almost the middle of November. Where has the year gone?
Well, let's see. We want to remind everybody about shopping safety through the holidays. When you are out purchasing your gifts this holiday season, we want you to be safe during that process. And some of the tips that we've recently talked with one of our police women here with the city of Goldsboro, Marissa Davis, and some of the things she was talking about, Wayne, was always park in a well-lit area.
Yes.
Lock your car. Make sure you put your packages in your trunk so they're not inviting to those that are looking to break into your cars.
That's right. You know what? Just because you lock your car doors
Doesn't mean they can't get
anything.
in.
It doesn't mean anything. All it takes is a good swift hit of a glass window,
That's
and then your purse, your package is gone. So hide those packages.
That's right. That's
and
right.
take your purse with you.
Put those packages in your trunk, but also let your family members know you're going shopping.
Yeah.
Because that way, if something were to happen, if your car doesn't start, or if you were to get into an eventful situation that you don't want it to take place, your family knows where you are.
Yeah.
And so keep your things put away in your trunk, park in a well-lit area, let your family know what's going on and where you are, and be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, indeed. Now, I know there's some wise guy there that's saying, you know, I don't have a trunk in my SUV. Well, you have a back area.
Right.
You know, so just lift the gate and drop your gifts or your valuables in there.
That's exactly right. We just
Because
want everybody to stay safe.
Yeah, somebody who's
They're going to be lurking.
who is intent on stealing from your vehicle, if they don't see something, they're not going to be
They'll move on.
tempted.
That's right.
They're not going to be tempted because they will not want to take the chance of being seen or spotted breaking into a car that has nothing there.
That's exactly
That's
right.
exactly right. Well, today is National Young Readers Day. It's a time to remind folks of the joys and the importance of reading for young people. Or reading for young people. A time to remind folks of the joys and the importance of reading for young people. National Young Readers Day. I think that could have been written in a little better way, but that's okay. You can go to bookitprogram.com to get information. And today's also National Indian Pudding Day.
Indian pudding.
I've never heard of it.
I can't say that I
no
have either.
idea. Tastes like a teepee or something. I don't know. I've never had Indian pudding, but I'm going to have to look it up and try it.
Well, you know, talking about things that are happening here in our community, Wayne, the holiday season is quickly approaching.
Yes, it is.
And we want to invite you to send in information about your favorite holiday traditions. We are interested in hearing about everyone's holiday traditions, what your family does, why you do it, how the tradition started.
Wow.
And Wayne, how do they send that information to us?
They send that information to us by sending it over to WGTV at WayneGov.com. WGTV at WayneGov.com.
We'll also take pictures of, once the Christmas lights have been put up throughout the holiday season, which is going to be starting soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Take pictures of homes, email them to us, and we'll show them on the show. We're excited about all these holiday traditions, and we really are interested in hearing about what yours are and why they started.
That's exactly right. WGTV at WayneGov.com. In fact, that's the email address you can use to send us information about whatever you want to send us information about.
That's right. If you have an event coming up or an activity coming up and you're a nonprofit local organization, we would love to share that and help you promote those events. So you can email them to that same email address.
WGTV at WayneGov.com.
That's exactly right.
Today is also National Reread Old Letters or Magazines Day. You keep old magazines?
I do not unless there's something special in there.
Yeah.
Do you?
I have a few.
Do you?
Of really old magazines that I like to keep. I'm not talking about necessarily the antique type.
Right.
I've got a couple of the old Life magazines.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of Look magazines. I kind of hang on to, but the old magazines, the old car magazines especially.
If there's an article in there that, if something special happens, like of course when a president is elected or something special is going on, I'll keep those magazines, or if it's somebody I know is in some of the magazines, that type thing.
Well, let's see. Have you ever heard of the movie Fantasia?
I have.
It was a Walt Disney movie, and when it first came out in 1940, on this very day in 1940, it was a flop.
Really?
Nobody liked it.
My
Nobody
goodness.
liked it. 1940 it was, before World War II. Now, when it was re-released in 1967, it was a tremendous hit.
Isn't that
Tremendous
interesting?
hit. All that color and everything. Very unusual for the time, but in 1967 it was a tremendous hit. Fantasia, a Disney movie. Also on this very day, in the year 1946, after World War II, a guy by the name of Vincent Schaefer produced history's first artificial snow. He did this on Mount Greylock in Massachusetts, and immediately everybody went skiing.
Went skiing.
Yeah, well, sure, that's what it was for.
People use that artificial snow for so many things, to make their trees look like snow is on it, their windows.
Yeah.
There's just so many different ways they use it these days.
They use it for downtown lights up.
We do sometimes. We'll have snow
That's right.
coming out of
Sometimes snow.
machines.
That's right. Artificial snow.
That's right. You never know.
That's right.
That was a secret. We were going to surprise them.
Oh, we're
Just kidding. Just
Okay,
kidding.
all right.
Just kidding.
No, you're not.
That's all right.
It's okay. There's not going to be any of that this year.
Well, Wayne, you know there's lots of turkey shoots coming up.
I've heard about that.
That's right. At the American Legion in Dudley, they have a new kind of turkey shoot. They offer 10 identical guns. They'll be provided, $4 per round, fun for all. It's fair and square. It's fast-paced, no weights. The prizes will include turkeys, gift cards, cash, and more.
Oh boy.
And you know you're not actually shooting at turkeys.
That's
you're
right.
shooting at a bullseye, at
a target.
target
Right.
that you can actually carry home. And you'll get free chili and cornbread at the American Legion in Dudley. They'll have, let's see, 50-50 drawings, dessert raffles, the list goes on. And that's every Friday from October 19th, so it's already started, through December the 14th.
That sounds like a
Doesn't
lot
it?
of fun. Now, if you want to know where that is, you just take Highway 117 south to the fairgrounds on 117, there at 13. Continue going on 117 and it's down below the fairgrounds on the
That's
left.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, there's other turkey shoots in our community as well.
Oh, there's several. as a
There's
matter
some
of
going
fact.
on at Stony Creek Park.
That's right. You know, and I had that here just a moment ago, but at Stony Creek Park, the Disc Golf Association there is going to have a turkey shoot coming up, and I don't have that information right in front of me. But it's this Sunday.
Yes.
From 10 o'clock it starts, and there are different divisions, and there are different prizes being awarded for the divisions. There's a men's division, there's a women's division, there's a
youth,
child's division. It's fantastic. That's a turkey shoot coming up at Stony Creek Park
On
this
Ash
Sunday,
Street.
10 a.m. on East Ash Street.
That's right.
All right.
Well, who's coming up next, Wayne?
Coming up next, Wayne, will be, oh, one of my favorites. We take a trip out to visit Linda Hall at the
yeah.
Secret Garden Winery, and you're going to love this.
You'll
I
be
love it.
surprised, so just hang tight and watch and see what we've got to say and what we've got to show at the Secret Garden Winery right here in Wayne County.
Today, Cam and I are visiting a secret garden, and it's such a secret, I have no idea where we are. Is that right? That's not right. No, we're here with Linda Hall and Secret Garden, which is in the Pikeville community. It's a Pikeville address, but we're on the airport road in the Pikeville area. And who knew there was a winery right here in Wayne County? Right?
Right.
Right.
This is
About
nice.
12 years now.
Been here about 12 years. So what kind of wines do you make?
All natural muscadine wines made from the Carlos and the Noble muscadine. Also fruit wines made from blueberries, strawberries, and peaches.
And they're available for sale right here.
Absolutely.
And she said they're all organic, Wayne.
Organic.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That's healthy.
No chemicals at all.
Okay. So how long have you been here?
The winery's been here since '04 is when we opened, but I've been here all my life.
Oh, okay. I think you.
She's a local girl.
Yeah, we were talking before we started the camera up here. You were born right across the street here.
Grew up here on a 50-acre farm.
Right. As did your dad.
Yes, he was born in the house right next door to the one I was born in.
And and I was noticing on the wall, Linda, you have a list of states represented by of people visiting from those states. You also have a list of countries where people have been have visited the facility here.
It's a long list.
It is a very long list, and it's people from South Korea, Australia, Zambia, all over the world.
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of crazy. I never expected it to be that way, but people search us out.
Well, and that's wonderful.
So it's a destination, Wayne.
Yeah. She was saying that, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you said that normally when people are traveling, they will travel and they will hear about Secret Garden, and then they'll stop in on the way to the coast or something like that.
All you have to do now is Google it.
Google it.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, tell us about the land that we're going to see in a minute, about the acreage that you have here with your grapes.
We planted a half an acre of muscadines in 2002. Planted another quarter of an acre a few years later. And that's pretty much all I want. It's a lot of work tending to the vineyard, a lot of pruning and things like that. So, but we harvested over 6,000 pounds of grapes this year.
My goodness.
Wow.
And because you do it all organically, I guess it does take a lot more time and effort than your typical vineyard.
Yes, it does. We don't use any Roundup, so there's a lot of weed eating and that type of thing instead of just spraying.
A lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So besides you, who else?
I have a few people that help, especially in the harvest season and in doing the maintenance around the vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
I have carpal tunnel, so I've done it too much.
You worked with those grapes and babied them, huh?
So would that be grapple tunnel?
Great. Yeah.
I guess, I don't know.
Well, the wine helps with that too.
Well, that's good. All right. So what are your hours here?
Yeah.
I'm open Thursday through Sunday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 till 6. Sunday from 1 till 6.
Wow.
And year round.
Can they find you on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your website?
Our name, www.asecretgardenwinery.com.
secretgardenwinery.com.
A Secret Garden Winery.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, she's got great brochures here that tell us all kinds of things. Her wine list and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
She has reds, blush, whites, and fruits.
Really?
All you have to do is read the brochure, Wayne.
I suppose I should, shouldn't I? Let's see what we have.
And dries and sweets. A lot of people think that muscadine is all sweet, but we do several dry wines as well in the muscadine.
All right. Very good.
Well, let's go check it out, Wayne. Let's go
We're
to
gonna-
the vineyard
we're-
itself.
Yeah, we're going to walk around. Linda, I couldn't help but notice on your table here, a couple of these wines have awards or medals. What are they?
Well, this one here is for a silver medal from the North Carolina wine competition at the state fair. That was several years ago. I really don't remember what year.
Well,
I haven't entered a competition in probably 3 or 4 years.
but this particular wine is Hush Hush Blush.
Yeah, I tried to name all the wines either something
you?
to do with gardening or secret. So Hush Hush.
Oh, it's a secret. Yes.
And this one has a ribbon, and it is the Mary Rose Red. So what kind of medal is this?
That's a competition that was the international competition in Georgia several years ago.
Mary Rose Red has won awards.
Now, this doesn't have a medal around it, but what kind of wine is this?
That's water for,
Oh,
for people who don't imbibe.
Oh, I see. Well, it looks good, you know.
Well, tell us about the labels that you have here on your wines.
Oh, well, the label came accidentally when I was trying to figure out what to do about a label. I worked with a company that I had worked with before with our other business, and right of Thomasville actually, and asked Ron Wright to come up with a label for us. And then after several meetings with him, I happened to find this old photograph. And so I used the photograph that's of me 21 years ago, and it turned out pretty well.
It really
I got
did.
a lot of compliments on it. This
would think
picture
so.
here was taken the same day as the one on the label. It's in a botanical garden in South Carolina.
That is nice. So it inspires your label.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right.
So are you on a list? I would assume there is a list of vineyards across the state of North Carolina, and I would assume you're included in that?
Yes, the state of North Carolina prints brochures for the winery industry, and they have all the wineries listed.
All
in the
right, you're
brochure.
included in that. And I would assume you also participate in the travel and tourism right here in our community. And I've got you listed as a destination here in our community to come and visit.
Well, great.
Good. Very good. Let's take a walk around the wine, the grapevine.
The vineyards, that's
The
right.
vineyards,
The
that's what.
vineyards
The
wine.
vineyards,
Right.
yes.
Vineyards, Wayne.
We're going to check out the vineyards, Wayne. Come on, lady.
time of year we get started on the heavy pruning when the vines go dormant in the wintertime. We'll do a real heavy pruning on the vines.
How long does it take you when you start, how long does it take you from up there all the way down to here to prune everything?
Oh my goodness. It depends on how many people we have out here.
Okay, let's say if you're doing it by yourself, how long does it take?
Okay, it would take me an hour probably to prune one vine.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have how many vines?
There's 100 in this vineyard here.
100 here.
Uh-huh.
So that would be 100 hours nonstop.
Non-stop.
And I see there's still grapes up on the vine.
There are a few left. Let's go look at them. How about that?
Yeah.
Since we had the frost last night, they won't be here much longer. But
they're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, so it takes her an hour to prune one vine. There's 100 vines here, so you're a busy lady. How often do you have to do it?
Just once a year.
Once a year, okay.
So you prune once a year. Is that in the wintertime or
Right.
early?
In the dormant season, we do the heavy pruning. And then right before we harvest, we'll prune enough just to get in here to do the harvest.
Well, walk me through the steps you take to harvest once you prune, and then they start blooming in the spring, and then the grapes all pop out all of a sudden. What do you do? When do you pick the grapes?
Usually about the middle of September, early to mid-September, depending
Really?
on the weather. And we hand harvest. We've got these harvesters that we use. We'll put a canvas on, and we can come out and just shake the grapes off. And so they're hand harvested, and then they go through the crusher and then directly into barrels. There's yeast already on the fruit. There's sugar in the fruit, so it ferments with the native yeast that's on the fruit.
So you throw them in a big vat and then you jump in and do this, right?
Not hardly.
You don't do that,
Not
huh?
with these 6.5s.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe snowshoes, So it's the I Love Lucy thing is not real.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
All right. I'm just,
We wouldn't want to do that.
No.
It's all for show.
All for sure. Okay. So when you they fall into the canvas.
Yeah.
Work with me here. Come on.
So what happens after
Okay.
that?
Yeah, that's it.
Let me go show you.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Did you get a shot of how beautiful it is all the way down the end of this vineyard? It is absolutely gorgeous.
It is
And
beautiful.
with these fall colors, the leaves have turned.
Yeah. How
It
long
is
is this?
beautiful.
How long is this? How long has this been here?
2002. So they're 10
Wow.
years old this year.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's go check it out.
Okay. How did you happen to decide to open a winery of all
Okay.
things?
Well, growing up on the farm, we had a large family, so we
Okay.
always did a lot of vegetable gardening, canning. My mom used to make maybe 5 gallons of wine a year. So when I got married, I continued the gardening and canning and making a little wine.
Yeah.
And so when the opportunity came for me to get out of the steel fabrication business, I decided to start making some wine.
You know, we never know the effects we have on our children, because obviously your mother really did mentor you, and it, we never know when we grow up the things that we did. We planted that seed. Your mom
Absolutely.
planted that seed as a child, and now you grew up and did the exact same thing she did and turned it into a business. That's fantastic.
How about that?
These contraptions over here is what we use to harvest our grapes.
This,
There's a
okay.
there's a canvas that fits on here, and it's got grommets on it. So we just tie the canvas onto here.
The grapes fall
You
in the canvas.
Fall. Yep. You can fall.
How do you shake the vine? Or?
Just shake the vine, or either you can clip them off with hand clippers, depending on how ripe they are.
Okay.
So that works really well. Once we get the grapes picked,
Yeah.
we'll bring them up here and put them through the crusher.
Okay.
And this is the crusher.
The
here.
crusher.
The crusher.
Hey.
And so this part here bolts underneath the bottom, and the grapes go into the hopper.
Aha! A hopper.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Now look at this right here. Made in Italy.
That means money.
That's right. That means it costs them. But I mean, who knows more about grapes?
That's right.
You know?
The Italians.
Well,
You know,
the
you've
French
got
know
the
a little
right
bit,
piece
but
of equipment here.
Very nice.
So that works really well. So
Okay.
once the grapes go through there, they go directly into barrels for the initial fermentation. And basically what that is the yeast consumes the sugar and they give off alcohol and carbon dioxide. That's just a simple explanation of what happens.
A chemical reaction.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of thing, yeah.
But it's a natural reaction that happens with the fermentation. So once that initial fermentation happens, we'll take, after about 10 days to 2 weeks, we'll take the grapes off. We use them for compost. And then we'll pump the juice to the inside in here.
Oh, wow. And are these the barrels that you use over here beside
Yes.
us?
And we do that initial fermentation outside under the shelter here.
Okay.
It's in the barrels for just about 2 weeks.
All right.
So once we get the juice pumped into the tanks or either more barrels, we'll let it sit there for the next year.
That's right. And she's got plenty of corks.
Yeah,
Look at
we
the
use
cork.
real corks.
Yeah, that's great.
So we'll do a racking process to clear the wine up. We do that instead of filtering. We just let gravity naturally settle the sediment out of the wine, and then we'll, after about 3 or 4 racks, it's pretty clear and ready to bottle. We just bottle one bottle at the time, and I just bottle as I sell. So
Okay,
we
so it stays in
it
the
stays in the
containers.
tanks until I get ready to bottle, and then we'll do a few cases of whatever I need to bottle up.
I love that.
Well, I see
Yeah.
you've got some sitting over here on the side.
Well, that's actually representative of what we harvested this year in our
Okay.
black grapes, the big tank and the 3 glass containers there, and that kind of lets you see what's happening inside
Right.
the tank. You can see the sediment as it settles out.
Excellent. And we have, I guess, all different types of.
Well, yeah, this is a hydrometer, and you can basically take a sample of your juice and see how much sugar is in it to determine how much potential alcohol you can get. And this is also the same sort of instrument that you can check the sugar level in the juice. You just put a drop of juice there and look through. It's a refractometer.
Well, sure it is.
And,
I knew
all
that.
the tools
Yeah, oh, yeah.
that it takes to
I know.
make the wine.
And this is an ebullimeter. It's what we use to check the alcohol level in the
A
wine.
what?
Ebullimeter.
Ebullimeter.
And this is, I guess, French too. If you
Oh,
can
yes.
read.
We don't know for
No, I once tried it. Decided to wait for the
So
movie.
basically, you just take a sample of wine
Jardin.
and put into here.
Right.
Water goes into the cooling chamber, and this is a denatured alcohol that burner that you light and slide under there. Once the wine heats up, the thermometer that's in this blue case goes there, and you take a reading on the thermometer, and it'll tell you how hot it is when it boils.
Okay.
So then you'll use this chart to determine how much alcohol is in the wine.
How often do you have to do this process?
Just before bottling.
Just before bottling. Okay.
Now, will one harvest fill one of these vats?
Oh yes.
One harvest fills a vat, and then it stays in that vat.
Yeah, until we rack. The racking process is how we clear the wine up.
Now let's walk over by the
Okay,
vats.
yeah, let's
How
go
about
over
that? There's
here.
lots of them.
Linda, is it consistent? Is the product itself consistent here and here? Is it the same product?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they taste the same regardless of from
It
where you
tastes
get
the
it.
same today. 6 months from now, it'll be different.
Oh, okay.
Because by not using any chemicals at all in the wine, the yeast are still viable, and so it's continually fermenting all the time. And so the alcohol level's going up, the sugar level's going down.
Yeah, this is very interesting, and I love the fact that you do all this by hand.
Oh yes.
This is instead of using chemicals and mechanisms and
Well,
and all
most
that.
wineries want their wine to be consistent and taste the same all the time. Well, these wines are continually changing, so it's
okay.
going to be similar, but it will be changing all the time.
Wow. Okay.
Well, there's how many of these are full or have fluid in them? Or have your wine settling?
Most all of them have some in it. I have a couple of empty tanks just to be able to do the racking process.
Is there a season that you're busiest?
Usually summer.
Yeah.
People traveling to the beach and just vacationers stopping by.
Do you have repeat customers? People coming
Oh,
by
yeah.
year after year?
And week after week.
Well, good for
Week
them.
after week. Are they
Yeah.
locals?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is great. You have a long list of containers back here. And then what is all that I see you have documentation on most of these back here.
Oh, yeah. You have to write down
Crush and
what
rack
is in
record.
it.
Oh, okay.
You put down what date you or we do put down the date we crushed, exactly what we do to it, every step of the way. Whenever we bottle, how much we bottle, and if
So
we
that's
do
why each one is different. Okay.
when you do the racking process, you need to document how much you lose.
Do you put the same, or how do you determine type of wine? Hush Hush Blush, for instance.
Well, it's a sweet, so it's usually a blend of the two grapes.
Okay.
It's not what you might call a blush, but it's a blend. But blend doesn't rhyme with hush hush.
Hush Hush Blend doesn't have the same. Nah, that doesn't work.
So it's either sweet or dry. So we have a couple of dry whites, and then we have a sweet white, and then we have a sweet red, a couple of dry reds, and then
And I see some good old blueberry back here.
blueberry,
So
strawberry.
what determines flavor? What determines the kind of wine it is? How do you determine blush from red? Is it
The type of grape, or is it
or
what
is
you
it
mix
the-
with the grape?
or is it the time that it ferments?
Well, the blush is a blend,
Oh, okay.
and so
All right.
it's a blend of the white and the red.
So when you
So the red is just the red.
all right, the
Right.
red is just the red, but when you want a blush, you put
You
these
create
two
it.
you create it yourself.
Right, exactly.
All right. It's just not the result of
A particular grape.
No,
exactly. Okay. Or something floating to the top.
No.
Like maybe the top's up here. This is a lot lighter up here. This is all
no,
dark
no,
down
no.
here now. Okay, I knew that.
It's consistent
It's consistent.
throughout the tank.
Okay.
So we're at the secret garden.
It's a secret.
There's lots of koi fish.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, we'd love to tell you where this is, but it's a secret.
That's nice.
And you were asking me what a secret garden, how I came up with that name.
Yeah, how'd you come up with that name?
Well, I feel like everyone needs a secret garden, and what a secret garden is to me is a place you can go to de-stress and relax and rejuvenate your spirit. It doesn't have to be a physical place. It could be anywhere you would like to just go meditate, if you like to do that, or yoga, or whatever it is you like to do that kind of
Your calming area.
gets you centered and let go of the stresses of the world.
Well, I can see how this place could do that.
Oh, absolutely. Sitting
Can't you
over in
forget?
this beautiful little area with the stream behind
Oh,
you
yeah.
and a glass of wine. Oh, that's a perfect little setup right here.
It is.
Well, whenever you stimulate the senses, such as the sound of the water flow, and then you've got the fragrant flowers and just watching the fish, it kind of makes time stand still. So this is part of our vegetable garden, and we do this all organically as well. We have right now growing lettuces and cabbage, and
They're beautiful.
we have a vermicomposting bed just on the other side of the garden where we get our organic fertilizer.
Vermicomposting is worms.
Yep.
Tim, I hope you're listening.
Tim helped us.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
All right.
He helped us get started with the vermicomposting.
Tell us who
Compost.
Tim is.
Tim Norris.
Tim Norris is a worm expert.
Yes, he is.
He really is, and he goes to schools and takes his and demonstrates to youngsters and students and to people like Linda the benefits of using worms in creating compost, which is
Perfect.
extremely good
And helpful.
compost.
Uh-huh.
You have to have a healthy soil in order to have a healthy garden. A healthy garden makes healthy people.
There you go.
I need to write that down.
That's a
That's
good
really
saying.
good. I love that. That's good.
And the vegetables taste so much better when they're grown organically.
Yes, that's so true.
It's a beautiful garden. You've got beautiful cabbage, lettuce, all kinds of things out there.
Swiss chard, broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Ooh.
Broccoli, your favorite, Wayne.
I love broccoli. I love Brussels sprouts. Don't leave me out here alone. I'll eat everything in the garden.
And he will. He
You know?
has.
Yeah.
He'll test them in a heartbeat. Well,
And-
thank you. We appreciate
yeah,
this.
Thank you.
Well, tell us about your wine tasting.
Okay, whenever people come, they're can sample our wines. We have usually 8 or 10 wines to sample. Normally I charge $5 for the tasting, and they get to take home our logo wine glass.
Wonderful. So if people want to call and schedule events to be held out here at the Secret Garden, how would they go about doing that?
They can contact me at 919-734-0260.
From family reunions to parties, whatever, huh?
Exactly. Either during hours or either after hours.
Wonderful. Well, it's a great location.
It is.
Well, thank you so much. We have enjoyed the tour. We hope you all have learned a little bit more about what's happening in your community. We're at the Secret Garden right here in Wayne County. Come on out and see for yourself.
WGTV Today, thank you for being with us. Coming up later today, by the way, here this morning at Mount Olive College. Mount Olive College is the sponsor of the next blood drive here in Wayne County, and that begins this morning at 10:30 and will go until 3 o'clock this afternoon. So give the gift of life. And there's a second blood drive today as well.
Really? In
the
one
second
day?
one is at, that's right, 2 in 1 day. The second one today is at the Red Cross office on North George Street. That one begins at 1:30 this afternoon and will go until 6 p.m. And
They need your help.
They do need your help. Kim's right about that. They desperately need your blood because if, for one thing, it's just always the right thing to do. But
Well,
number
with the
two,
storm Sandy coming through, there's been so many victims. And they, you know, I was talking to Chuck Waller recently, and he
Right.
was saying that the focus sometimes gets off of blood drives when there are disasters. And that's one time you need even more blood.
That's exactly
So
right.
we really need to make sure that we show up for these locations. We offer them throughout the community, so can make it as convenient as possible for
That's
you.
right. So later this morning at Mount Olive College, and then later on this afternoon, beginning 1:30 at the Red Cross office on North George Street.
That's right.
All right.
Well, Wayne, we have a parade coming up very soon, a Christmas parade in Seven Springs, Saturday, November the 17th at 3 p.m. on Main Street in Seven Springs.
What kind of parade is it?
I think it might be Christmas.
Oh boy, a Christmas
That's
parade.
the first one that I'm aware of in our community.
I think that is the first one.
Yeah.
On the 17th of November.
That's exactly right.
And I believe that's
3
going to be
p.m.
on Main Street.
Yes.
in Seven Springs.
Main Street in Seven Springs. Come on out and join them.
That's right. Oh boy.
What else is happening?
Well, Kim, we have a busy day coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow
do.
we're going to have a busy day here. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll be hearing from your city, the city HR department.
Yes.
Human Resources.
Human Resources. We'll be talking with Faye Reeves, who has been with the city for quite a while now, and she'll explain that whole entire department.
That's right. That is.
Who else is on the show tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, my friend Eddie Pitzer, I've known Eddie for many years, but Eddie is the new manager of the Wayne Regional Agricultural
right.
Fair, and oh boy, has he got his hands full, but he's the man that can do the job. But we're going to hear all about it tomorrow here on WGTV Today. And we'll also hear from Jim Hennett. Jim's going to be back with us tomorrow. We have a third segment of Tech Talk here on WGTV Today, and Jim is very knowledgeable, and I'm excited about his coming in and talking with us tomorrow.
Well, we have so many organizations and agencies here in our community that will be coming on once a month to share what's happening at their local organization, from the hospital to the public schools and the Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. We're excited to have representatives from the 916th as well as the 4th Fighter Wing coming on once a month to share the activities happening on base. So, you know, here we are to spread the news.
That's exactly right. So
Giving
if you have
opportunities.
Indeed, and we are going to give you an opportunity. If you have an announcement to make, if you you belong to a nonprofit organization or a nonprofit group, give us an email. Send us an email at wgtv@waynegov.com. We'll announce your event coming up
And help you promote it.
That's exactly right. In the meantime, join us every morning at 7 o'clock here on WGTV Today. Until tomorrow morning at 7, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.